Alright guys, so this week we're going to look at escaping the cross-side position, and we're going to start in a position that my partner has complete control. So he's already beaten my right arm, and my left arm is already vulnerable here. So the first goal is, from a bad position here, is to try to get my inside arm back inside so I can create space between my hips and my partner's hips, and then look to start bringing my guard back. So first thing I want to do is, in order to get this arm back, because it's going to be sealed in here pretty tight, is I'm going to bridge into my partner, and I'm going to be extending my arm into his ear. So as I bridge up, I'm going to extend my arm, allowing me to start pulling my other arm inside. Once my arm gets inside, I can start using that to bring my other forearm across the neck. Now, when you put your forearm across the neck, make sure your hand just relaxes right across the neck here, so that I can create a good frame with my left arm. But it's really important, my inside arm, I want to try to block his body as much as possible. So my training partner is always going to be really tight here, but notice how my right elbow frames really tight in his rib cage here. So the combination of my left forearm and my right arm, I'm going to look to create a little bit of space and start walking away. Now, my partner Steve will stay pretty tight to me here. Okay, so when I start making that space, I want to use my elbows to start sliding my head to the inside. Now, when the tighter your partner is, it's actually easier to get this. So when Steve gets really tight here, I'm going to make a little bump with my elbow to get my head in. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go inverted here. I don't want to turn at an angle because it's difficult for me to create that space. So I'm going to keep myself flat. I'm going to bring my inside knee in first. Okay, so I make the space with my right elbow, and my inside knee starts coming inside. My other foot comes over the head. So I come in over the head, and I create that space. Now typically people will pull their arm out here because of that arm bar. So I'm going to catch on the back of his arm, and catch his leg, and I'm going to get to this cross guard position. Okay, and from here you do have triangle tacks if you can free your leg. Okay, I can go into a triangle. Okay, I could also, from this position, especially if people are trying to walk around, they post their leg a lot, I could get to a knee bar here, where I start bringing myself over. I start looking for either the knee bar, or sometimes I'll get the sweep when the guy defends the knee bar here. I'll come up on top and start turning in and finishing on top. Okay, but the real key here is making space between my hip and my partner's hip. So when he gets tight on me, he's got my arm beat. Okay, I'm starting to get into a position where he can start attacking my arm. He can look to start mounting. So I got to create that space. So I'm going to do a big bridge, and I'm going to punch this arm across the face, so I can pull my elbow in, and right away I try bringing my elbow and my knee to create a little bit of a wall here. My other forearm goes across the neck, but I need to get inside this arm. If I try to do this move here, it's challenging when his arm is low here. So I really want to bridge and lift and come under. Okay, I can now go inverted much easier, and I get to this position here. When my right foot comes across the hip, okay, it'll make it hard for my partner to go around. I'm going to grab onto his leg, and I don't want to stay here, but I want to be aggressive. I don't want to push down, pull my leg out, look for triangles. Okay, I could also just squirm back and get to a guard, start sitting up. Okay, and usually the knee bar comes when he posts that leg and he starts looking to come around. Here I come under the ankle, leg comes to the inside, and start coming through either the knee bar, or I can use it just to sweep, come on top, keep this ankle, okay, and start sitting through this reverse half guard position. Okay, so that type of escape really works well when your partner is in a head and arm grip. Now if he switches to a hip control, okay, it's a little bit different of escape. I need to go to my belly on this one, but as I go to create space, I don't want to just try to force it and fight in, because I could end up in a DARS or a guillotine. I could also get mounted if I'm really close. My partner can just step over. Okay, so what I want to do is, in this position, I know I'm going to go to my stomach, but I want to kind of bait that I want to bring my legs in first. So as I start creating that space, I flick that foot over, and I create that idea that I'm trying to go inverted. My partner usually will start walking around my head. Okay, at that point, then I can scissor up and come up into a single leg. Okay, and then you end up in that single leg fight. It's not a guarantee you're going to get out, but it's the best way to get out of that position is to start baiting your partner into thinking you're going to go inverted. So when Steve's down here in his guard, see, notice how I'm controlling his hips real tight.
If he just tries to go belly down, okay, it's pretty predictable for me. And I can start looking to attack Darce, guillotines, and I'll be a lot lower and tighter. Okay, if he starts bumping up and bringing his guard in, okay, and that foot comes over my head, it's going to make me think he's going inverted. I start circling a little, and then he takes off and comes up on a single. Okay, so it's a lot more of a tricky situation. Okay, so you really want to try to create your own space. As people get really tight on your hip, you want to create a little space on the hip. So a little bump, a little action with the knee is going to create a little space for me moving around, and then he's going to scissor. He's going to come up on a single leg. And when you guys come up on your single leg, I want you to post that hand on the mat, keep your head tight, keep your knee in tight, and this foot will be driving and looking to circle around behind me. Okay? And you get your reverse. So a little bit of a summary. Hey, when I'm in cross-side, I'm always trying to create that space to get my arm in. This arm's really going to help me create that space to get either my knee in or to my belly. Okay, so I slip the head, I look to go inverted, and get my escape here. Okay? If my partner starts changing, yep, he changes, he blocks my knee from coming in, I still look to go inverted just to create that idea that I want to go. When he comes to the side, I spin up on the single, and then I can finish, come around, and up in the top position. So that's a general review of cross-side escapes. Basically the idea is you're trying to create some space between you and your partner's hips, and you can look to either bring your guard in or go belly down for a single leg. And next week we'll add some more situations. You know, for instance, there's different escapes if your partner sits through. If your partner sits through here, you need a different escape. If he goes to like a Marcelo Garcia cross-side here, there's different escapes here. Okay, so depending on how your partner sits is going to dictate the way you have to escape. So we'll look at those situations next week. All right, perfect.